here? Good, I love that enthusiasm. So I want to welcome all of you here today. My name is Sally Myers, and I am the founder of the Paris and Menifee Valley Chambers of Commerce Student of the Month program. And we are excited. We began our program in 1998, so we are celebrating our 16th year. Isn't that incredible? So yes. And right off the get-go, I want to thank our Dr. Jonathan Greenberg, our superintendent, because he emceed on my behalf in November and December. While I was in Sacramento, I had the opportunity with our Sizzler restaurants up there to do some live cooking TV segments. So that was very fun to be able to do that. I don't know that they turned out that great, but it was very fun. And I had to be submissive to a TV host, and I'm not used to being very submissive. I kept telling him, no, we need more time to do more of this and that. And it was amazing. All of a sudden, we just got canned, but oh well. It was a lot of fun. But I just want to welcome you all here today. We're going to have a great time of fellowship and fun and hearing stories from all of our students and meeting everybody in the room, so it will be great. And I would like to ask you all to please stand. And we have Pastor Don. He is with Reflections Church, and Pastor Don is going to pray for us today. And then we're going to ask Marion Ashley, our county supervisor, to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance today. All right, Pastor Don.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you so much for this day, Lord. And Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we have, that we can honor these wonderful young men and women that have excelled so much in their specific schools. Lord, I ask you, Lord, please to bless each business here that contributed, each organization, each association that's here this morning that helped make this event possible. Lord, I just want to also pray, Lord, for the families of these young men and women, for all the love and support they've given them and a tireless effort in order to have these students be achieving what they've achieved today. And Lord, again, I also want to pray for these young men and women. Lord, you got amazing plans for them. Awesome plans, Lord. I just pray that they continue to seek you in everything they do. We love you, Lord, in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. It's great to be here and to celebrate these wonderful student high achievers. And just to contemplate is how fortunate we are to live in these beautiful valleys here, Paris, Menifee valleys. And it's a wonderful place to be. We have a great future, and let's go about what we're doing in a very positive manner. So now we're going to salute the flag of the greatest nation on God's green earth. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You are welcome to be seated. And our lunch is presently being served to you all today. So for all of our families and guests that are here for the first time, in addition to the trip to the salad bar, you get a steak lunch and cheese toast and a baked potato, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. I wanted to share with all of our families and guests today that we are a nonprofit organization and we do have a mission statement. And the mission statement is the same today as it was when our organization was originally founded 22 years ago. Our first program being in Temecula, then we moved up to Murrieta, Lake Elsinore, and then over to Paris and Menifee. So we actually do 4 events each month to honor outstanding students from each of those particular communities. And this morning at 7, we were doing a breakfast for the Temecula students. So I'll tell you what, today is my Student of the Month day. And it is just a lot of fun, and I get great joy and pleasure meeting all of our students. But the mission statement is really how our students are selected, and it's important for our families to know that, because your students are selected based on their character, their integrity, their love of learning, the ability to juggle numerous activities, from whether it be campus activities, athletics, clubs, community service, or the ability of a student that has persevered through a very challenging life circumstance, all in a setting that honors God, our country, community, family, and free enterprise. So you bring all that together, and it really is what we are here today, Student of the Month program. And there are not too many places that I can think of where we all come together under one roof, and regardless of what all of our affiliations are, but we come together under the fact that we are here because we want to love on kids, and that we really care about students in this valley, and we want to encourage you, and we want to learn your passions, and we want you to go out and we want you to make a difference. And so that is why you are here today, because you are set apart from other students on your campus. And I'd like to introduce now the representatives of our two chambers of commerce. And I'd like to invite forward Dorothy Wallens, who's the CEO of the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce, and Bea Parmalee with the Paris Valley Chamber of Commerce. And they're going to share a few words of insight and wisdom to you all.
Good afternoon. I had to look at my watch because time passes by quickly. On the behalf of Paris Valley Chamber of Commerce, we would like to offer not only the students but the parents, sponsors, guardians, congratulations. And thank you for your wonderful support of your students. And we want to wish you well in your future. And don't let you're going to have a lot of obstacles. Don't let that stop you. Just take a deep breath and go forward. Okay? Thank you.
Well, I second that on behalf of the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Directors, the membership, and the volunteers that take part in making Menifee a great city. I want to wish you all best wishes on your career path, and congratulate all the parents that helped you achieve your goals today, and those students. Continue to be a mentor in your communities, and come back and see us when you graduate or get married and want to settle down. Make Menifee and Paris your home. Thank you.
I wanted to also introduce today Alma Martinez, who is with the Paris Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I think this is your first Student of the Month. Is that correct? Yes. So if you want to stand so everybody can meet you. Yes. And she's a go-getter girl. I can already tell. And I'd like to also thank our volunteers. Our volunteers just mean the world to me, and they are just incredible. They're faithful, and they are very loyal to this program, and they do an amazing job of everything behind the scenes. And I'd like you to meet our chairs. It's Lori Ortel and Sarah Rico from the Paris Union High School District. So ladies, raise your hand high. Thank you. And also a thank you to Jonathan and the school board at Paris Union High School District for having these wonderful ladies be able to help us out as much as they do, because you know that they do an awful lot for our program. So thank you. And our scholarship ladies that help out with that, with helping me with the funds and getting the checks out to the schools, is Carrie Zamora with Better World Trust, and she is unable to be here, but she does a lot of work behind the scenes. And our accountant is here, Kim Garcia with KSG and Associates. So Kim, if you want to raise your hand high so everyone can see you. Appreciate you very much. And we were just together the day before yesterday doing the bank reconciliation, and then you were at Temecula's program this morning at 7 and here today, so she's very dedicated to our program. And then, of course, Dr. Jonathan Greenberg, who always stands in for me when I'm unable to be here. So want a big kudos and thank you to you. Appreciate that. And then our mayor, Darrell Bush from the city of Paris, I call him sort of our development guru, because he is always looking out for new sponsors for our program and is bringing people in every year, as well as our Dorothy Wallens from the Menifee Chamber of Commerce. She does the same thing. So between those two, we're able to always bring in some new folks to the program and some new gift certificates. And the gift certificates are always fun for the students. So thank you all very much. We appreciate that. Thank you. I would now like to introduce our students so they can have the opportunity to stand, and our school principal. So when I call your name, if you'd please stand. From Paloma Valley High School, our principal is Dawn Williams. And our student of the month is Esmeralda Eve Garcia. And your family, please. Have your family all stand. So we'll have your, Esmeralda, let's have your family stand. Great. Wonderful. There we go. I knew there were more over there. And we even have a new little student of the month person coming up the ladder. And she's really cute. I can tell she's going to be a student of the month. I can already tell. From the California Military Institute, we have Angela Lawyer, our assistant principal. Hello, Miss Angela. How are you? And our student is Ashley Nicole Bond. Ashley, if you would stand, and your family as well. Families are very important to our program, so we want everyone to know who mom and dad are. Thank you. And from Paris High School, Nick Hilton, our principal. And our student is Giovanni Martinez. And your family. Thank you. And you know, I love Dress for Success. Look at this tie and everything. Very good. Good choice. And from Heritage High School, our principal, Julie Zerold. And our student is Carolyn Louise, is it Probizanski?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, very good. And your family. And another tie. Okay. We have Dress for Success all around us with these ladies. Look how wonderful everyone looks. That's just so impressive. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'd now like to introduce all of our lunch sponsors. And everyone should have a program. And if you open up the program, you will see inside all of our lunch sponsors, our dignitaries. We have our gift sponsors on the right-hand side, and on the very back, all of our scholarship sponsors and our volunteers. So I'm going to introduce everyone that I know of that's here today. And so we want to introduce Eric Kroenke from Ashley Kroenke, Inc. Hello, Mr. Eric. And from Bank of Hemet, we have Virginia Figueredo and Tammy Ann Parrott. Thank you, ladies. And then we also have from the City of Menifee, Council Member John Denver. Thank you, John. John, were you Santa Claus this past year somewhere? I was. Okay. All right. Also AKA Santa. And from the City of Paris, our Mayor Darrell Bush. And I know that he is not here right now, but we also have with us our City Clerk, Nancy Salazar. So Nancy, thank you very much. And from our County Supervisor, Marion Ashley, we actually have County Supervisor Marion Ashley. And we have Barry Bush, who many times is representing our council member, our county supervisor, Marion Ashley. Oh, and Darrell Bush, come on in. This is Mayor Bush of City of Paris, and I like that shirt. Is that a new logo?
This is from our centennial year logo.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
So that's good. So thank you very much. We're glad to have you here. We saved a special spot for you.
I'm going to get my salad.
Okay. And from Lowe's Paris Regional Distribution Center, Cynthia Vasquez. Where's Miss Cynthia? There you go. And we have Kevin with us today? Okay, well, thank you for coming. We always appreciate seeing you. From the Paris Union High School District, of course, we've met our superintendent, Dr. Jonathan Greenberg, Lori Ortel, and Sarah Rico. But we need to make sure you know Steve Swartz. So thank you, Steve. and Marcy Savage. Thank you, Miss Marcy. And of course, Joan Cooley, our board, one of our board members, so Miss Joan. And of course, Bill Holstrom, one of our board members. So thank you all very much. We appreciate that. And from Star Milling, Bill Kramer. Mr. Bill, thank you. And from Vistera Credit Union, we have Cheryl Benjamin and B. What did I say?
I'm from Vistera, she's from Altura.
Oh, that's why I got messed up. I saw you ladies sitting there together. Credit union ladies. Okay, so, are you guys working together? Okay, so, all right. So, Cheryl Benjamin from Altura. See, I had Sonia. That's why I got myself messed up. Yes. Okay. So see, it really wasn't me. No, only two. But then B. Parmalee. She wears numerous hats in the community. So from Vistera. So now we've got everybody right. We have 2 credit unions here. So thank you, ladies, very much. Appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to have to give everybody name tags, and it doesn't have name tags, so that I don't go crazy. And with our scholarship, okay, families, this is really important because we right now have a $1,700 scholarship that's going to be available to our schools, and it is based on a competitive application process. And so Sarah and Lori will be putting together a scholarship application. She'll be getting them out to the schools in probably, about a month and a half, would you say, Sarah? In about the next month and a half or month, you'll get those scholarship applications out? Okay, so you'll get these in plenty of time. There'll be a couple of short essays, information that you will complete, and it's really important that you complete it in its entirety. And remember, the only way that the judges are going to really know about you is what you tell them. So you can't assume that people are going to know that maybe you had these great things happen and you were in the newspaper, or maybe you were, visible somewhere else in the community. We only know what you tell us. So it's very important that you really sell yourself on all of your accomplishments for this year. So it's extremely important that you start keeping a list of those things, because the district and the chambers will put together a group of committee members that will go through those applications. And then we will then award, I think it's 5 scholarships, Sarah, if I'm not mistaken, right? Right. And so we have numerous scholarship donors, and I'd like to introduce those to you as well. Some of them are here, some of them are not, but we have Fred Good and Associates. We have International Auto Crafters. We have the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we've got Dorothy Wallens here. Paris Plaza and the Cordores Limited Family Partnership. And PUMA, which is Paris Union Management Association, the Rotary Club of Menifee, Star Milling, and WLC Architects. So those are all of our scholarship donors. So let's give them a great round of applause. And we can still accept scholarship money up until the very end. And what we do is we divide it equally between our students of the year. So maybe we'll get it up to close to $2,000 this year. So if any of you feel particularly generous and you want to offer more to that, of course, we would be more than happy to accept it. And we have Student of the Year gift sponsors, and Mark Yarborough, one of our council members and our Mayor Pro Tem possibly, is with Swedish Speed and Champion Towing. He provides a special gift for you, as well as Costco out of Lake Elsinore. And there'll be other gifts that will also come about from various of our donors, so it's very, very exciting. And now I'd like to introduce our dignitaries. They come prepared with a certificate and just a few words of wisdom for you all. And they're going to come forward and speak in this order. So from the City of Paris, we have our Mayor, Daryl Bush. From the City of Menifee, our Council Member, John Denver. From Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez's office, Irving Alejo. From Assemblyman Jose Medina's office, we have Lachey Rodriguez. Of course, we have County Supervisor Marion Ashley. And from the 23rd Senate District, we have David Morgan. Senator Richard Roth, our representative is Altie Holcomb. From Congressman Mark Takano's office, we have Maricela Magnania. And from Riverside County Office of Education, we'll have Dr. Jonathan Greenberg present those certificates. And then, of course, we will also end with our superintendent, Dr. Greenberg. So take it away, Mayor.
Oh, thank you. Everyone enjoying their lunch? Yeah, me too. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Paris City Council. We always look forward to this. I know Mr. Yarborough and I have been representing the city for years doing this, and it's always a pleasure to be here, even if you come late like I did today. I have an excuse. I was at the doctor's office, okay? But, yeah, I got it. That's my son. He knows the routine. But I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Also the parents and the family support, because I know that's important to the students. I know a lot of these students do a lot of this on their own and everything, but there's a certain amount of support that you need from family and relatives and everything like that, or individuals and so forth. And I want to thank everyone. Remember that this is your day. We want you to enjoy it. You've achieved a lot, and you're a special one because there's a number of students in your high school, and you were selected as one per month, and this is you. And so congratulations. We have our certificate for you, and one, again, congratulates the parents too. Thank you.
Okay. It's my pleasure to be here and present to Giovanni Martinez, Paris Union High School.
No, you're doing all of it.
Do all of them, okay. But I'm going to present that, okay. Sorry, I haven't done, in fact, I haven't done this in a long, long time. I don't remember doing it. I remember attending many of these before that. Now, this is really an important program, and it's just wonderful that this is put on, and thank you very, very much, Sally. And we were thanking the Lord for everything, and we should have included Sally, because she's just marvelous. Not only her and her family have created lots of businesses and jobs and sales tax base for cities and counties, that we can pay for services and so forth, and public safety. And also those property tax help pay for education, your educations, and support these schools. And so that's all very important. Now, what you achieved here is really important, but everybody here has a family, and without your families behind you, none of you'd be standing here right now. If you do, you'd be the very rare one that did it on your own. Everybody has help, needs help, and the more help you get, if you apply yourself, the better you will do. And you're just getting started. And you look out, there's been many, too numerous to call, many high achievers that have come out of the Paris Union High School and Heritage, and CMI, and Paloma High Schools. They're all over. They're college professors, they're leaders, in both in the not only just in the academic world and business and the military, and many of us have achieved great distinction in sports. And we've had players out of the Paris High School, for example, that played in the Super Bowl 4 times and won, Calvin Sweeney. So there's no telling, what you can achieve if you have somebody behind you. And what's so great about this program is you're acknowledged for your great achievement, and it's encouraged you to keep moving. You still have a long ways to go. It's not a long ways, you're over halfway there, but you have a long ways to go, and it's probably most difficult, but it's also going to be the most fun and the most enjoyable part of your whole life. When you get older and you're situated in your new position, you'll look back on these as your happiest days and all the friends you've made. So it's my pleasure to present you and to give this to anyone, to Giovanni Martinez. I want to give that to Giovanni Martinez. I went to Paris Union High School.
One more Supervisor Ashley. Tell them where you graduated from high school.
Okay. Well, I graduated from Paris Union High School in 1953. Okay, and very happy. That was one of the happiest times. It was the high school is where Civic Center is now, where Mayor Bush, where the city hall chambers there, where they have their council meetings. That was our study hall. That was a big deal. That's where you got to go sort of meet your girlfriend. Really, thanks to everything. We met him in study hall. But it's really great. It's really a great facility, many wonderful memories. And now we have all these wonderful comprehensive high schools and California Military Institute. We're so fortunate. And we're going to have a new high school not too long, down a few years in the district, and this is good. It's just amazing. And I've seen how the achievements of all these high schools have just been wonderful. I mean, various things. I mean, you've all stood up and stood tall in various ways. It makes me proud. And I see, like Heritage won the CF championship there. How proud that made me feel. Because it was coming from this valley. I didn't go to Heritage, but I lived in Romaland. That's where I would have gone if there would have been a Heritage High School. So it warmed my heart a little bit, And I just love to see all of you, just do so well. It's just really great, and I'm just really proud of the Paris Union High School District and all that you achieved. But mainly, it's the parents and the teachers. It's important, but the parents and the children, all these students are really the important thing. It's really all about the students.
My name's John Denver. I'm from the city of Menifee, and you have learned a lot of things this morning, and one of them is don't let politicians talk. But I have, and you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm going to give these awards to you. We have brought some very good stuff. We brought some bags. We are from Menifee, so there's some very expensive bags and some very expensive glasses in there. They're great. And look at this certificate. They are more beautiful than every single one else up here from the city of Menifee. So there's one thing, though, that your parents want to tell you, and I am speaking for your parents, and that is that when you graduate, go to college. After you finish college, we want you to come back here. We want you to open a business. We want you to go to work for one of these businesses and make some money. And we want you to get married and have kids after you graduate from college. And we want you to have the grandkids here so that we grandparents can come see you, not in Orange County, not in West Covina. We want you here. So remember that, and I am speaking with some authority. And when you come back, please come back to the city of Paris if you must, but the city of Menifee, all right there.
Hi, my name is Irving. I'm here on behalf of Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez. First,
And where did you go to school?
I'm from Vista Merida High School.
Okay.
That's local. It's local. Listen, I'd like to congratulate all the students. It's not easy to be recognized for your achievements, your hard work, and your dedication. So, congratulations. And in recognition that we have certificates from the Assemblywoman for each of the students. Oh, that's way better. I look forward to hearing all your stories and sharing with the Assemblywoman. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of Assemblymember Jose Medina. He would like to congratulate and commend all of the students for their hard work and their dedication, as well as to all the parents and the friends and the family that definitely created an environment to nourish that support system for the student. And we would like to just thank them once again, and congratulations to all of the students, and let this begin to be the beginning of your road to success and excellence. Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Morgan with the California State Senate, and the politicians have said it all. They do say it all.
Be careful.
Yeah. But we just want to thank everybody that's involved, starting from Sally to the Paris Unified School District. I mean, they've put you guys in a position, an environment where you can thrive, and then and your parents, and the bottom line is that you are thriving. And the state of California wants to thank you and congratulate you and ask you to keep going because you can be the future leader. So congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. Senator Roth wants to thank and congratulate each of today's honorees. He further wants to send warm congratulations to all of the parents, guardians, family members, and friends who have poured into the lives of these young STAR students. He wishes you the very best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. On behalf of the Office of Congressman Mark Takano, we'd like to congratulate all of the students of the month for your outstanding achievements. And if I may brag, I am also a Paris High School alumni. So now, as you're debating where to go off to college, please do remember to come back to our communities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Jonathan Greenberg. I'm superintendent of the Paris Union High School District, and I get to first award the Office of the Riverside County Superintendent of Schools certificate, and I kind of think that's the best one of all myself. On behalf of County Superintendent Ken Young, who could not be here today, again, he wishes to congratulate all the students for their great success. So, with that, the one thing I get to give you is not a certificate. Students, I want you to look carefully at this. This is kind of old school. These are called thank you notes. Okay? Now, back in the day, what people did is they actually folded them, put a date, wrote somebody's name, and said thank you. They didn't do it by an email or a text. They didn't put TU and, that sort of thing. So what we're going to ask you to do is actually, we have a list in your bag of all the great sponsors. You see Sally, the list that wonderful Sally Myers is holding up. You are going to write a thank you note. That's your homework assignment for each one of those businesses, because really you need to know. We are finally coming out of the recession, but these businesses have supported the Menifee and Paris Chamber of Commerce, and all the businesses in the community have supported this program through the lean times during the last 5 years. Our scholarships for students and the certificates and all the wonderful things that are in those bags that you get, they've not diminished. We haven't had less of a lunch. And because of Sally's leadership and the leadership of the chambers, we've been able to do this. And so, and one of the things about becoming an adult is that you learn that you didn't do this by yourself. The politicians said that, and the non-politicians have said that. You didn't do this on your own, and so you need to thank those that have really given back to you the ability to be here today and be recognized. So when you finish these, because we know postage has gone up, you are to then put the envelope together, hand them to your principal, and they'll send them to us, and we'll take care of the postage. So again, on behalf of the school district, we thank you, we congratulate you, and it's January. So all of you are seniors, and so President Holstrom, Vice President Cooley, and I will be handing you your diplomas in June. And there's a lot of time between January and June. You're going to get accepted in college or find out where you're going in life and really feel good, almost a little too good in the spring. You start getting that senior-itis. And I'm not lecturing you like your principals will lecture you about keeping your eye on the ball. But what I'm here to say is it was about 7 years ago when 4 Paris High School students died on the freeway during graduation week. And we don't want that ever to happen again. To go to a graduation and see the gown on the chair is a chilling experience and one that I'll never forget. So please make sure you and all of your friends, everybody you can tell them, is have a sober time between now and graduation and beyond, because you never know, that senior sitting next to you at graduation could be an undercover officer. I can't confirm or deny if we don't have them still on campuses. So, yeah. there's some parts of this job that I just love. Anyway, on behalf of the Board of Education, congratulations and continued success. Thank you very much.
Well, that is awesome. I'm going to have you turn your attention over to our gift table. We've got all kinds of goodies over here, and we've already learned what the city of Menifee is giving you. And the city of Paris, we have an umbrella. And in fact, let's see, how would you like to stand up? And you can come over and show off a few of these little things for me here. I would love it if Julie can do that. She can be a banner for us. So we've got the umbrella from the city of Paris, so that is great. The thank you notes come from Creative Printing. I'm sorry, John Avera, I don't know, it just wasn't going to work, so, so we'll just do Vera.
I'd rather you have her.
International Auto Crafters has a bag for each student, and it's got all kinds of goodies inside it, in addition to a special, this is an accident auto kit, which is something that you would keep in your car, and anytime, let's say, any little thing were to happen, it gives you directions as to important things, information that you would need to get, some goodies, and I think there's an engraved plaque in there somewhere too. And it's got your name on it for Student of the Month, so that's very exciting. So we're excited about that. From New Life Fellowship, from Pastor Ted, he's got this wonderful red Bible for you. So that's really quite pretty and very nice. And then we have a new gift, this book called the Bible Promise Book from Pastor, it's Don, right? From Reflection. So he came, and we didn't know you were bringing that book today in a pin, so thank you very much for bringing that. So a lot of people want to share in that information with you. And from New York's Upper Crust Pizza and Whimsical Yogurt, of course, Henry Dang. And we've got certificates inside the bag, along with a bunch of certificates. So he's got 2 of them in there for you. And then we've got horseback riding certificates for you from Vestera Credit Union, from B. Parmalee. We have a flash drive. It's in the pretty little box on top of the glass right here. So you all will enjoy that. Yes. And from Altura Credit Union, we've got this glass, the special mug. So that's fun. So thank you, Cheryl. Got it, getting it right now. And then from Paris Union High School District, you're going to have some movie tickets, of course, the postage for your thank you cards, and a DVD video that will be coming your way of today's event. So that will be very, very nice. So let's give everyone a great round of applause. So that is good. We also have from Advanced Admission Specialists a gift certificate from Rafael Cano. So Rafael, thank you very much. That's also in that bag, as well as all kinds of gift certificates from restaurants all over the place, from Paris to Menifee to Temecula, Murrieta. So you all are going to have a lot of fun. You can go to Mulligan's, you can do some bowling, and so I think that you won't go hungry for a long time. You might even have to do a few extra jogs around the block. So thank you very much. We're now going to get into the presentation of our students, and this will be a lot of fun. We do each school individually, and we will ask you to come up according to the order that's on our program. So we'll start today first with Paloma Valley High, and then we'll end with Heritage High School. And so the way that the program will work is we will call, so for example, we'll have the entire group come up to have the principal, our student, the entire family, and our mentor teacher. So you'll all come forward, and our student will stand right over here with the family, real close together. Principal will start behind the podium with our mentor teacher on this side, and you're going to want to do a huddle because Paloma Valley High is videotaping today. We want to make sure that everybody is always seen. The microphone, now that I remove the tape, does raise and does lower, and you want to make sure that you speak clearly into the microphone. And Mayor Bush is really good about letting you know if he feels that we need to raise it, lower it, or speak into the mic, or scoot together. So he is our Vanna White when it comes to pulling everybody together. So thank you very much. That's why he sits right there. So that is great. And so the way that will work, our principal will have a minute, and then the student will have 2.5 minutes to share. Then the teacher will speak for approximately a minute, and then one family member will be able to share for about a minute. And during the 2.5 minutes for the students, this is what you will talk about. You want to introduce your family and guests by their name, and introduce your teacher by his or her name. So in other words, you say, this is my teacher, this is my mom, my dad. We want to hear their real names. We'll want to learn a little bit about your college and career choices. And trust me, if you don't tell us this, we'll remind them, won't we?
Yes.
Mayor Bush, yes. And so will Dr. Greenberg.
Yes.
Yes, because we're all about college and career. And then we want to learn about your current school life, some things that you're presently doing on campus that you'd like to share with us. And then we're going to ask you to answer one or more of the following questions. And the questions are, what do you believe is your greatest contribution to your community, school, or family? Or, what do you think is the most significant life lesson that you will take to college? And if I was going to college today, I would have many. And then, how do you plan on giving back to your community or paying it forward? Or the final question would be, share a personal story that demonstrates an obstacle that you have overcome. So you can answer one or more of those. And when you are answering those questions, you want to say an obstacle I've overcome is, or I plan to pay it forward by, or the greatest life lesson I've learned is. So that's how you want to share with us. And then when the student is speaking, we don't want to leave a gap with the family, so the family can kind of move this way, and then when the teacher is speaking and the student moves this way, so we kind of just do this little flow thing back and forth, and we all stay together. It's like you're joined at the hip up here, all right? So that will be a lot of fun. And we really ask you to save a little dry corner of your napkin, because sometimes we do shed some tears of joy. There are some amazing stories, great victories, and just personal stories that may not normally get shared. And this is a room where you can share from your heart, and that's what we want. So from principals to teachers to students and parents, this is a place of comfort. Like I said, we want to love on you, and we really do value your sharing. So with that, let's begin with Paloma Valley High School. All right, John. Okay.
You didn't get on the second.
And we'll get everybody all set up. I'm going to have you come over here. Thank you. You're going to be right here so everybody can see you. And you all can be just right here. Mom, and we want Mom right next. Okay, so we'll get all right next together. And then there we go. So I think, can everybody see? Well, wait, we can't see you. You need to, let's scoot down just a tad. We want everybody to be seen. Yeah. Okay, so is that good? And then just back this way just a little bit. That way we can all see you too. Okay, I think we're in good shape. Okay, we are ready to roll.
All right, good afternoon. I am Don Williamson, the principal of Paloma. And I'd like to start out, first of all, really quickly, I'd like to thank the sponsors and the organizers for this event, because one of the things that administrators are charged to doing at every site is to make a positive culture for the kids and the staff to go to school with. And I tell you what, this organization, this event, has helped to create a very positive impact on every campus. I can't tell you how many times, well, it's every time, I go into a classroom to announce to the class that this student is going to be the student of the month. All the students are looking around going, oh, wow. And spontaneously, the students break out in applause. They know how important this is. They know what a big deal this is. So for all the students today, I hope you understand how honored it is for you to get this award. This is an extremely great award. So at this time, I'm going to talk about my student of the month, Esmeralda Garcia. And one of the things you also have to understand is not only do the students think this is a big deal, the teachers think this is a big deal. I ask my teachers every month to nominate some students who they believe qualify for this award. Esmeralda has been nominated a couple months in a row. She didn't get it the first time around. I had highly qualified people, and for different reasons, she didn't get it the first time. But when she doesn't get it, The teachers want to know why.
I know.
Why didn't you pick my student? And all I can tell you is, all these students are so worthy. And it's so great that she has her turn this month. Just quick things about Esmeralda. GPA of 4.3, 8th out of her class. She's been the president of Interact. She's in the Brother and Sisters in Christ Club president. She's in CSF, NHF. She's in the Wildcat Pride. She was a WASC representative. She's in Key Club. She has done tons of community service. She's been in youth council, parish pastoral council. She's been a speaker at retreats. And I could go on and on and on. The whole idea here is you understand that it's much more than just being a good student in the classroom. She is a great person. So with that, I'd like Esmeralda to say a few words. Here's Esmeralda Garcia.
Move over now. There you go.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Garcia, and I'm really honored. Thank you so much for everyone that's participating today. It's just an amazing honor to be Student of the Month, and congratulations to other people from other schools for getting the award as well. I want to first introduce my family, and without them, I would not be here at all. So here's my mother, Nicole Garcia, or Carter. Nicole Carter. And then this is my stepfather, Robert Carter, and our newest addition, Sophia Carter. My grandparents, which are super awesome, is my grandmother, Susan Mascarenas, and my grandfather, Charles Mascarenas. And I'd like to introduce my mentor, who, fought for me in the teacher battle, Ms. O'Connell. So what I plan for the future. So I really am, this college process is crazy. We're all in that waiting period. If you're applying for UCs, you're waiting for March is our magic month. So, oh yeah. so far I've been accepted to UCR and Cal State San Marcos. But what I'm really wanting right now is I want UCLA. And so I'm crossing.
Dr. Greenberg, start calling, please.
You can graduate right now.
Any phone calls will help.
Any assistance? So I'm hoping for that, and if I am honored enough to be accepted, I plan on majoring in cognitive science, which is like another branch of psychology, just more specific. And what I plan to do with that is I really want to work with researching more psychological about people. I want to find out specifically with youth of why there's so much depression and so much anxiety, and why is there so much going on in our world. And I'm hoping through researching with that major that I'll be able to have that opportunity. So as Mr. Williamson said, I am a part of WASC. I'm the senior class representative. I've been in Interact for 4 years, and I'm now the president. And I was president last year as well. And I also have been in other clubs like CSF and National Honor Society, and it's just an amazing, I love Paloma, I love my school, and I really just try to make an impact the past 4 years. So the really big club I think that really impacted me was Interact Club. So as I said, I started as a freshman, and I was like, okay, what's Interact? Do we talk to each other? Is it interacting? I don't know what it's about. Interact is a community service club, and I would hear the older officers, seniors, they would talk, and they'd be so passionate about their calling, and I'd be like, well, I understand it's good to help people, but I've never had the opportunity, so I wonder what that's going to feel like. And then they announced, we're going to feed the homeless this weekend. And I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the movies. We get to finally help people. And then so I went, and it's honestly, I really recommend if any of you guys get an opportunity to go, because it's just so heartwarming seeing the grateful faces. I thought they were going to be adults. They were 8-year-old children, and they're this little saying thank you, and it just warms your heart and really reminds you what you should be grateful for. So I'm hoping through college, and of course, I got a little sister to come back too, so I'll be coming to Menifee after college, and I'm hoping to, with my college degree, to find a way to impact others to get volunteered more often. So I'm hoping to give back by inspiring others through my story to volunteer as well. So I'd like to ask my grandfather to speak for me.
Right now?
Yeah. Later.
First of all, thank you all for being here today. I want to say I've had the honor and the privilege of being her grandfather for 18 years. She's one of the greatest person in the world, and I'm a hardcore Marine Corps retiree, and love her to death. Everything she does is for everybody else. And I just want to say that if she goes as far as she has up to this point, you guys are all going to be very, very proud of her. I know I am. And I'm sure you're going to hear of her in the future. They're going to find out about how intelligent and wonderful she really is. And intelligence is a great thing, but being intelligent and using that intelligence to help other people is a lot greater, I think, in my own personal opinion, because I haven't been all that great myself. So, so I look upon her as my shining star, and hopefully all of you too will think of her as that. And I just want to say thank you for the privilege of being able to be here with my granddaughter. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As Esmeralda said, I'm Mrs. O'Connell. I've had the biggest blessing of teaching at Paris Union High School District for the past 10 years. It was my first teaching job, and I don't want to leave. You're going to keep me forever. But every year in these 10 years that I've been at Paloma Valley High School, there's always a diamond in the rough amongst our students. Little did I know that this year it was going to be an Esmeralda. She is phenomenal, extraordinary, humbling, a smile. Sorry, I'm emotional because she is just the greatest student and the most, not ambitious, but ambitious for everyone. She's always setting the example for others to follow. She's always pushing not only herself, but all of her students or her friends to do their best. And it's been an honor and a pleasure, and I've been blessed to have had the opportunity to work with her through AVID the last 4 years. What she has done is incredible. Sorry. Oh, this is my nature. I cry all the time. I can't even say the word graduation because I start tearing up. But Esmeralda has accomplished so much, and even during her senior year, she's taken more AP classes than any of our seniors have. Right now she's taking 12 AP, well, she has taken 12 AP classes throughout her high school career, and she is a part of the dual enrollment, and she makes every single class look like it's easy, like it's a piece of cake. She has a high GPA, and she's ranked number 6 now. Oh. She's ranked number 6, and I'm just honored to have had the opportunity to work with her, and I love you. Thank you.
All right, at this time I'd like to introduce the incomparable assistant principal, Angela Lawyer from CMI.
Where'd you go to college?
I attended UCLA. Good afternoon. I am honored to stand here, and most of all honored to serve the students of this district and the students specifically at the California Military Institute. And I take service in that meaning literally. Ashley Bond is our Student of the Month for the California Military Institute, and well deserving. I've had a unique opportunity to serve Ashley both as a teacher in middle school and now as her administrator. And so I've seen her grow socially. I've seen her grow as a leader, and I've seen her grow cognitively. And that I'm very proud of. There's one message that I did send to them in the classroom, and I know that she heard it. And I told them that you will go to college. And it was never sent as an option, But I'm proud today to stand here with she and her family and understand that she took that to heart. She embraced the academic rigor that we provide for them at the California Military Institute, and she succeeded in every facet. She has been a leader in our military science program. She's one of our battalion leaders. She participates in the volleyball team and has been a leader there. And she just strives academically and succeeds. She's a great all-around student, and I'm very proud of her.
Next, yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Ashley Nicole Bond. Introduce my family now. This is hi. Okay, this is my mother, Michelle Bond, and my father, Gary Bond. This is my mentor, Mrs. Sevilla. The college I plan on going to and I've been accepted to is La Sierra. I've also been accepted to CBU, but I'm going to go to La Sierra. My career goals is I plan on majoring in psychology, and I want to be a spiritual counselor. So I'm religious as far as Christianity, and I want to also mentor to little kids and older kids and all over. I want to counsel all of them. I currently go to CMI, California Military Institute. I'm in basketball right now. Our league record is 6-1, so we've won 6 games. We've only lost 1. We shouldn't have lost that, so. I'm also a company commander, actually, so I'm in charge of 6 classes containing about 24 little students, so 5th graders, 7th graders, and 8th graders. An obstacle I've definitely had to overcome is going to California Military Institute in 7th grade. It was a very big change for me. I don't like to be told what to do, so automatically I tried to become a leader. And it was hard, very hard, because I was in charge of all girls. So, you know how it is. But I overcame it eventually, and now I'm a company commander. So thank you.
Hello again, I am Ashley's mother, Michelle Bond, and I just want to say, first of all, as far as my house, we serve the Lord. That's far, the most important thing. And then, of course, God sends us people. And, praise the Lord for Miss Loya. I cannot do what I do from a day to day, because I travel, with my job, without knowing that my child is safe and under the best. And Miss Loya is the best. She started out as Ashley's teacher in 7th grade, and Ashley's right, it was a struggle because, she was entering into CMI, and, it was a change for everyone. But Miss Loya made it easy, and, and then, she became the vice principal, and I can't say enough to her thank you and how proud I am of Ashley. Ashley did decide to go to La Sierra and was accepted there. Also was scouted for basketball, for the women's basketball team as well. So, we're very proud. We're proud of her academically and the young lady she's become. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Miss Sibilia. I had the pleasure of being Ashley's teacher. I teach her in English, and I'm also the ASB director, and Ashley's one of our officers. And I'm very lucky to have her as part of the ASB community. She volunteers for everything, which I love. Also, I've watched her with the children when she's mentoring them, and she's just so patient and so kind, so I can really see you being successful in a career as a counselor. I think it's a great position for you, and I look forward to seeing you grow as a young lady. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Nick Hilton, the principal of Pierce High School.
There was an A, you know. I learned quick. Well, good afternoon, everyone. As was said, my name is Nick Hilton. I'm the principal of Paris High School. It is my pleasure today to introduce to you our student of the month, Giovanni Martinez. Giovanni is, like the other students here, a phenomenal example of why we do the jobs that we do. They come to school, they work hard. We go home, they continue to work hard. They put everything they've got into their education. And you don't get a 4.26 GPA if you're not putting everything you've got into your education. Giovanni's involved in Interact, MECHA. Like Paloma Valley, we have another AVID student. The AVID program, well, what it does for the students of the Paris Union High School District is amazing. The way the students walk in our doors as ninth graders and then walk out of our doors as seniors, walk across that stage, the changes that they go through and the people that they become are just, they're great examples. One thing I wanted to share about Giovanni before I turn the floor over, since we look at the college majors and he's going to share the accolades and his ambitions, one of the things he probably won't mention was the section of the hobbies that he wrote down on the information page. And I thought that was very interesting. His most favorite hobby is playing fake plastic musical instruments on Guitar Hero.
There you go.
And so I thought, well, we're going to talk about all the great things, but I saw that, and that's immediately what drew my attention. And so you see what these students do. He was telling me how much he irritates his parents at home because the young ones are trying to sleep, and he's banging on the drums and singing and doing all this other stuff, and it just goes to show you just the personalities that we have in our schools and how much we appreciate them. So, Giovanni Martinez.
Hello everybody, my name is Giovanni Martinez. I'm from Paris High School, and I would like to thank all of you for being here. And my goal for college, I want to go to UCLA. I'm pretty sure that UCLA But so far I've been accepted to CSU Fullerton and San Diego State University. I want to be a mechanical engineer, so because everything is technology now, including those Chromebooks, from Paris. And so I like to work on that and maybe improve, create new things that could help all of us, all of society. And I'd also like to introduce my parents. And my sister and my two little brothers, but they're not here. But my whole family. These are the people that they give me motivation every day, and they've always told me to try my best in school. And they're the reason that I'm here accepting this award. My mother, Veronica Martinez. My father, Jose Martinez. My sister, Giselle Martinez. And even though they're not here, Josiah Martinez and Julia Martinez. They keep me going every day. Like when I wake up, they're the persons that always put a smile on my face, always make sure that I come to school ready and prepared, because it's just a blessing to have a family that loves you so much. And Paris High is a family to me, because there's so many people I've met there, like so many teachers, so many students, my counselor, everyone there. When I got to high school, I thought they always told us, once you get to high school, you're gonna be all on your own. Everything you do is gonna be all on your own, and that's the expectation I went in with. But I found that to not be true, because teachers really do care about you. They will stay after school and they'll tutor you, they'll help you, and if you ever have a problem, even if it's not academic related, they'll pitch in and they'll help you. Just like I had calculus, AP calculus. And that was the most difficult class for me. But my calculus teacher, she would stay till 5, till 6, tutoring students. And I kid you not, there would be like 20, 25 chairs of students right there. It would be like another class. And she would just be doing it because she wants us to understand the topic and get it. And even my AP English teacher, she read my personal statement when I came to her. She didn't have to read it, but I asked her if she could read it, and she gave me the positive feedback on it, and it really helped. And if I get into college, I'd like to thank her, because she made my essay solid as well. So, and just AVID too as well. AVID, like without Avid, I would have been so lost from freshman year to because it's like a road map, and that map is so helpful. It's the GPS to our car, and the gasoline's right here, the GPS, the brakes, mechanical engineer. There you go. Car. You gotta always say cars. But Paris High School is it's great, and what I want to do for my community, I always want to keep in touch with Paris High School, always come back, always keep in touch with those teachers because they're a big part of my life. So, and I want to tell people, like in Avid, we always had guest speakers, and I want to be one of those guest speakers and come back and tell them, I was in your spot, I had those same fears, I had those same insecurities, I had those same doubts, but you got to keep going and you got to push it because you will make it, because you have the tools, you have the teachers, you have your family, you have your friends. Anything that you set your mind to, you can do it. So just try your hardest and make the most out of every opportunity. That's my life lesson that I learned in Paris High School. And well, I think I'm going on for too long now, so I think I gotta hand it over to someone else. I'm gonna hand it over to my mom. I love her so much. I'm pretty sure she's gonna say the great things about me.
Good afternoon. Like he said, my name is I'm his mother, Veronica Martinez, and I would like to thank God first of all for us being able to be here, and everybody else, the staff, and everybody that contributed. I am very proud of my son. He's the oldest of the siblings, and he has to work hard to be able to do all his work, helping us with our kids. I'm just so proud of him. I could go on, but it's too much, and I can't. I'm sorry. I'm so emotional. But I just want to thank everybody that helped us has helped him get to where he's getting, and hopefully he'll go and continue going to college, and hopefully he gets into UCLA, which is his hope. But thank you, everybody.
Hi, as they said, I'm Dina Breska. I'm Giovanni's literature teacher. And frequently I find that I learn from my students as much as I try to teach them. They teach me. And Giovanni really taught me a big lesson this year. He walked into class, and I didn't know him, and I saw him fluttering around my class's table groups, fluttering around frequently, and I'm like, okay. As a teacher, I thought, I had to keep my eye out. What's going on there? And I really wasn't sure, and I was trying to figure him out. Is he, of course, that teacher in me, is he copying? Is he, what's going on? And I just kind of kept my eye open on him. Then come personal statements a month later, and he came and met with me after school, and I got to know him. And he shared that he went to a youth conference, and which really changed his life. He found God and made a connection, and it changed his character and his person. And I was like, and he realized what a great role model he had to be for his siblings, his younger siblings. So then I really saw him differently. So then I watched him in class after that, and he's still fluttering around. And I realized he's fluttering around helping all the other students. They're asking for help. And I didn't, I just see someone moving around and you think, I'm realizing he's so humble. I think he saw me at the beginning of the year kind of like, keeping my eye out. I was really keeping my eye out. And then I felt like, gosh, I learned so much from him because I had the wrong perspective. He is so humble and wants to help other students achieve, and he's always there for them. And he just has a great character and great integrity, and I'm so proud to be his teacher. So thank you.
It is my privilege to introduce the next presenter, Principal of Heritage High School, Julie Zero.
Well, it's a great pleasure for me to be able to introduce Carolyn today. She's an amazing student, and I'm going to stick to the AVID theme today. And I think it's a tribute to what our district has done as far as supporting a great program and the success of our students. So Carolyn is also an AVID student at Heritage High School. She is also the senior lead person as far as the senior class. She's their representative for the AVID program. One of the things about Carolyn, and it's always hard going last sometimes because you get all the other stories and you get a little bit emotional, and then when you get to talk about a kid who's really special, it's hard not to get emotional. But Carolyn's probably one of the most amazing kids I've ever seen, because she's not always had an easy road, but you would never know it because she just perseveres through everything. You would never know that there was any obstacles for her because she's such a hard worker and so determined to find the success that she wants for herself, that she never gives up and she continues to press forward and work hard. She's not only been a part of the AVID program, but also been a part of Honor Society as well as the Interact program. And she has some really strong aspirations. I'll let her share some of her college goals, but I have no doubt that she's going to reach every goal that she has set for herself. So here's Carolyn.
Hi.
There you go.
I'm Carolyn. I obviously go to Heritage High School. Here I have my boyfriend. He was the one that was able to come out. He's not going to talk though, so. His name's Evan Vanderveer.
Hi.
And I have my mentor, Miss Smith. She works in the Career Center. And then where I want to go to college, I want to go to USC. I'm kidding. I want to go to University of Irvine or University of Santa Barbara. And I want to study biological sciences. They're kind of different. I'm going in as a biochem major in different schools and stuff, but ultimately I want to go to medical school and I want to become an anesthesiologist. I don't know why that, but I wanted it since I was a little kid. So at school, like they said, I'm like so avid. Like I love AVID so much. I'm a National Honor Society, CSF. I started a spirit club, the Patriot Pit, at our school because it's new. So I'm also, I forgot the last one. Oh, I'm in Link Crew that we like help freshmen and stuff. But probably the biggest impact my school has left me is AVID. I was given the opportunity to be the AVID senior representative on our new student council this year, and the program is just the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've met all my best friends through AVID, and the teachers, they're just amazing, and everyone's so helpful. The tutors are great, and I love AVID. Probably the biggest life lesson that I'll take through college and life is that you always have to be positive. No matter what life throws at you, you always have to take the upper hand and use it to your advantage, because you control how things affect you in your life. So if you want to take it the bad way, then that's going to ultimately damage your perspective and your outcome. And pretty much just always be happy with what you've given, because people don't understand that they take advantage of things that they think is supposed to become to them easily, and not everyone gets that, so just stay positive. And I want to thank the sponsors, everyone that had anything to do with this program. It's really great, and I'm so honored that I was chosen to be with you guys, and congratulations to the other students in the other schools. Thank you.
I'm Audrey Smith, senior clerk
Microphone.
in the Career Center at Heritage High School. And I met Carolyn when she was 12 years old. I was delivering a food box to her family and her brother 2 years later. I met him when he was a 10th grader. I was here with her brother. And I asked Carolyn if it's okay if I just share a little bit about, it's not a sad story. The beginnings were sad. This is my 34th year in the Paris Union High School District. And I have done a food drive for probably 27, 28 years. And we delivered a food box, my sister and I, on a Sunday to her family's house, and they were living in an abandoned house. No utilities, no water, no gas, no electricity, and they had been there for quite some time. And my heart was broke. And here was a skinny little girl with these long legs. And I thought, after her brother graduated, I cannot wait until she comes to Heritage High School, because she's going to be my student of the month. Now, she has a 3.65 overall GPA. Like she told you, she's involved in so many things, but she also has over 300 hours of community service. She volunteers her time, and she was in foster care. She turned 18 years old, transitioned out. I don't get it, how you're 17 one day, 18 another day, and all of a sudden you like are supposed to know everything. We've been working on Cover California for forever, trying to get, you know, some things going for Carolyn, and I admire Carolyn. She's strong, she's determined, she has tenacity, she's sweet and tender and kind and good, and I love her, and I want the best for her. I pray for her all the time. I expect good things for her. I know, like she said, things are not handed to you. She's her own dependent. She takes care of herself. She pays for rent, and she's living with not a foster family, but with someone else. And so she's the captain of her ship, let's just say. And I listened to everybody, especially this young man right here, kind of brought tears to my eyes when he's like, I wake up, and there's my mom and my dad and my sister, my brother. And I thought, Carolyn wakes up, and even though she has her mother and her brother, they're not there in the home. And I hope you know, we're your family too. We love you. You know that. And so I just thought, what a blessing for you, and blessings for Carolyn. You know, I know God's opening doors for her everywhere. And it's not just because she deserves it, or she's like some special shining star, which she is and she does, but it's because she works hard. She works hard. And so everything that Carolyn has worked for. So this right here is a blessing, a gift. Thank you, everybody, for what you do for these kids, so they can come and then get blessed like this. What a gift. So I want to thank you. So this is something she didn't have to fight really hard for. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I really believe Carolyn is going to be and do great things in this life.
At this time, I get to introduce Sally Meyer back up to the mic.
Thank you. Okay, Pastor Ted, we need the Kleenex. Wow. What an amazing day. It started out pretty amazing, and it's ending pretty amazing with all of these incredible stories. And now you know why we come back year after year. And what's really interesting about the Paris Student of the Month program, over all the other ones that we have, even during the economy, this program grew. So that tells you something about the community, the commitment, the loyalty, the faithfulness, the generosity of the people in this town. And it's because, as we said in the beginning, we really want to love on you. And hopefully you felt that today. I know I felt it. I mean, just in the fact on how you all shared. Because like I said, it's not as easy to share. And sometimes just it's difficult to even share amongst the people that you feel the closest to, let alone coming into a whole room where half the side of the room you don't even know. But you all did an incredible job. And I was just listening to some of I kind of take notes on things, and a lot of it's because I'm at an age now where I have to...
What's your name?
The girls know. But I really do like to write down certain buzzwords, and when we're talking about Esmeralda, where's Miss Esmeralda? And just how you felt, the words used to describe her, that she's really heartwarming and she wants to serve, and how she's inspiring others through, her story, which I think is really quite special. And with Ashley, I loved your mom saying in a very confident manner, we serve the Lord in our house. And how much confidence that she has in where you're at and the people that you surround yourself with. And that's very special. And the fact that you're a volunteer and you mentor to other young people around you. That is really great. And Giovanni, you're just adorable. We were having a great time over there. And just love that smile, love your sense of humor, and how it is really bathed in character and integrity. You don't always find all those coming together in one package. And how you said that you believe it's important to try your hardest and to make the best of every opportunity. And then we move on to Carolyn. And you take what you said about making the best of every opportunity, and how, Carolyn, you talked about just being positive no matter what life throws at you. And it's incredible how many times, and since everybody talked a little bit about God, I feel it gives me the license and freedom to do so as well. But, you know, God uses all things for good. And so even in difficult times, He can take those challenges and He can blossom them into beautiful blessings and opportunities where you can become a person of influence to others. And that goes for every single person in this room. And that goes for all of our sponsors. Just the fact that you all come here and take 2 hours out of your day, your finances, and you pull all that together, you are a shining star to all the other young people in this room. And hopefully they all want to aspire to be like you, which is very special. Which then leads me to the John Maxwell that I want to end with. And John Maxwell, he's an author, he's a pastor, he's a motivational speaker, and he has something called Minute with Maxwell, and it's something that my husband and I wake up to every morning, and we thoroughly enjoy listening to his, it's a word, and it's called Minute with Maxwell. And one that he did, and it was a while back, but I really liked it, and I think this applies to all of you quite well. And the word is reputation. And this is from him, so I am going to be sharing his words. And he says, this applies to our lives over years of hard work as we develop and earn our reputation. However, it can be destroyed and ruined in a moment. What we work so hard to earn, our trust, our respect, our character, can quickly be lost. The way is simple to hold on to our reputation. Do the right thing. Be faithful. Be diligent. Consistent. Build a reputation that's positive, one that helps others and adds values to their lives. Are you all hearing things about each of these students? Then John Maxwell says we must guard it, protect it, defend it, and build upon it every day. Be true to yourself. And then he says our core values and truths and principles are worth protecting and must be defended. This foundation has molded us to who we have become, and we must guard our hearts from unworthy attacks. And we must stay true to our core values. And because so many of you brought up God, and gosh darn it.
Kleenexes.
In my hand, all wrapped up in a little ball. And you talked about, it was Esmeralda. I'm taking a little liberty here, since I have the microphone. And you talked about you want to research the psychology of why so many students are depressed and have anxiety. And I think there's one reason. Because you really need to have the Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
You really do. And there's not a lot of venues where we can all say this and feel good about it. But in Paris and Menifee, we can. And I am just proud of each one of you, because you all are going to make such an impact on people around you. You've made an impact on us today. So with that, I want to say God bless you. I want to thank Randy Randy, you need to come out here. He's on the other side, and he's from Paloma Valley High, and he is videotaping this for the entire community to see and to hear. So this is Randy. Hello, Mr. Randy. So on the video mixer out there, we have Austin, and our audio engineer is Greg Peters, and camera operators in here is Francisco Garcia. Who's Francisco? Francisco. Jose Sandoval. And is it Yuzan? And it's Aloda? Okay. And so we are very excited because these students come over from Paloma Valley High, and it's really kind of a double-edged benefit for them because they get to learn how to videotape and edit for Time Warner Cable Television, but they also get to come and listen and hear the stories, and their lives get impacted too. And so they will be preparing the video that you will be receiving that will also go on Time Warner Cable Television, compliments of the City of Paris. So that tells you how much our communities really enjoy being able to share of the great victories of our community. Then we're going to take a picture out front, and we'd like our mayors and council members of our two communities and Dr. Greenberg and our two chamber folks to be able to go out front as well, and Sarah will be taking that picture. So with that, we conclude our program, and may God richly bless you. Thank you.